This first mod, Forget Spell, provides a simple yet essential feature that the game has been lacking since its release. The mod enables players to forget spells that they've already learned, and remove them from the magic menu. To do so, all players need to do is select the spell they want to forget, and press the Sheath button, which defaults for R for keyboard and mouse users. The mod then prompts the player to confirm whether or not they want to forget the spell, making it an effortless and straightforward process. To enhance the visual side of things, we have player spell and weapon lighting. This mod adds improved lighting effects for player spells and bound weapons. The mod is designed to be high performance, meaning it doesn't rely on other performance heavy elements like EMB lighting. When wielding a spell or bound weapon, you'll see the immediate area light up with a glow that corresponds to the type of magic you're using. This not only looks visually stunning, but also allows you to better see what you're doing in darker areas. The mod is also highly customizable, allowing players to tweak the intensity and colouring of the light to their liking. To complement player spell lighting, I'd recommend this next mod, Immersive Spell Effects Emit Light. This mod enhances the visual effects of magic spells by adding a new feature: magical hazards will now emit light. In the vanilla game, magical hazards created by spells like Wall of Flames don't emit any light, which can be immersion breaking for players who rely on magic in combat. With the mod installed, however, magical hazards will now emit a soft, glowing light that illuminates their surroundings, making them much more realistic and immersive. Back to the more combat side of things, Magic Sneak Attacks by Power of 3 is a mod that allows players to perform sneak attacks with magic and shouts in Skyrim. With this mod, all schools of magic, including staves and scrolls, can be used for sneak attacks. In addition to this, the mod is compatible with all sneak attack multiplying perks, providing a seamless integration with the vanilla game. One of my favourite things about this mod is that it allows players to fully explore the potential of their character builds. By enabling the use of magic and shouts for sneak attacks, players will have access to a wider range of options when it comes to their playstyle. The mod is straightforward to install, and its compatibility with other mods makes it a great addition to any Skyrim mod list. Now for my favourite mod on this list, Unattuned Immersive Spell Failure adds a new dynamic to spellcasting in the game. With this mod, spells can now fail if you do not maintain focus or have the adequate skill. This means that even skilled mages will occasionally make mistakes or be interrupted. Failure chance is determined by a spell's difficulty and your skill in the respective school. The most common way for a spell to fail is to simply be reflected back at the caster. If a mage were to fail in casting a paralysis spell, they will become paralysed themselves for a duration. If you were to lose control of a destruction spell, it would cause an explosion around, creating a hazard of the respective element. However, it's not always so simple. The mod also includes unique failure mechanisms for different spell archetypes. A few of my favourites include mage armor spells, making you as stiff as your magical armor, or reanimation spells failing to properly bind the deceased creature to your will, which will cause them to attack you. Or in failure to summon your target bound weapon, you may accidentally summon it as a random object like a wooden bucket. In conjunction with the failure mechanics, the mod also introduces two new active effects: a debuff called Caster's Burn, and a corresponding buff called Renewed Focus. Caster's Burn prevents magicka regeneration and increases the chance of spell failure, discouraging players from casting spells till the buff wears off after 60 seconds. Continuously casting spells while under Caster's Burn may result in running out of magicka and relying on potions. Additionally, if a spell failure occurs while under this debuff, the timer will reset and the player will need to wait another 60 seconds. Once you recover from Caster's Burn, you'll gain a new buff called Renewed Focus. This buff guarantees only a 1% chance of spell failure, but there is a downside. Due to the intense focus required to successfully cast spells, your spells will be limited in power by 20%. These new mechanics add an additional layer of strategy to spellcasting, and encourage players to use their magicka more carefully. The mod also affects NPCs, who can also fail to cast spells, making combat more unpredictable. This mod is highly compatible and adds a new level of engagement and immersiveness to your spellcasting. I'd recommend everyone give it a try. And finally, if you want to boost the immersion of the spell learning process, I'd recommend the Immersive Spell Learning mod. The mod makes it so you can't just instantly absorb all the knowledge of a spell tome anymore. You have to find a quiet place, open the tome, and study it for a while. I've actually already covered this mod in one of my earlier videos, so if you're interested to learn more about immersive spell learning, you can find the link in the description or wait for the end screens. Well, that's all the mods I have for today. Subscribe for more modding videos and don't forget to endorse any mod you enjoy.